Hello, JP.
Hey, Chris.
Can you talk about the good on special teams and also that field goal attempt? What did happen ultimately with the snap and the hold?
Well, from a good standpoint, one of the things that we talk about as a team every week is having the opportunity to impact games. And that one play and out mentality, that game changing approach. I really like the attitude and the way our guys approached everything we did from a special teams perspective. At halftime, and I think one of the advantages is the ability to look at film and the iPad. We looked at the iPad and we knew exactly how they were covering their kicks. We were able to kind of scheme it up a little bit, and the guys did a tremendous job on the kick return to start the second half. I thought the guys did a really good job on the fake punt. I thought the guys did a really good job on the punt pressure unit. AJ getting a chance to block a kick. I thought there was some positive momentum created that way. In terms of the missed kick, obviously Ryan's had a really good year, and between that battery of Mason to Alex and with Ryan with the kick, it's been really good. Obviously the snap was a little bit high. Alex couldn't get it down, and that was a play that obviously we would love to have back because it was a momentum changing play in that game. But I have total faith and confidence in them being able to bounce back and be fine from that. It's unfortunate that happened, but obviously it did.
All right, we'll go to Jordan, third row on your left.
Coach, I wanted to ask about two other miscues. On fourth down, the second half, you guys had to take a timeout on a punt. Just what happened there, and then also the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Jackson on the kickoff.
I mean, the unsportsmanlike conduct is Jackson knows. I mean, it's not a very smart play. I mean, whether you're frustrated or whatever the case might be, I mean, that's obviously dumb. And he knows it. I mean, you can't self-inflict the wounds like that. The timeout was unfortunate just because it was one of those situations where Shaheem was on the bench. We were going through some defensive corrections. He looked up at the scoreboard, saw it was third down, and it actually was fourth down, and he was late getting on the field. That's what it was. It's inexcusable, and it's on me for that to happen. But that's what happened. Just going through his normal protocol from being a defensive player to a special teams player, and we didn't make the transition fast enough.
All right, we'll go to Ira, second row on your right.
Has Sam been somebody that you guys thought could be that kind of a weapon since he's been here, or what have you seen from him during the time he's been?
Well, I mean, from the time we recruited Sam, we knew he had elite speed, and when we've been through kind of a group of guys at the kick returner spot, but one of the things obviously that we're looking for is those dynamic guys that have the ability to make game-changing plays, and Sam does have the speed. He does have the natural run instincts that we felt like if we could create some opportunity for him, he could make some big plays, and obviously it translated the other night. So just like a lot of other guys, if you really look back at like even Trey Benson, and I'm not comparing Sam to Trey Benson, but like his really kind of breakout was that kick return against Boston College. It takes sometimes those opportunities to show what you're all about, and I don't know how many more opportunities he may get offensively, but I do think he can be a dynamic returner for us.
How is Lewayne doing returning punts and even just decision-making, fielding it?
I mean, I thought his decision-making was really good the other night. There's some plays that, I think we left on the field from a punt pressure perspective, and part of that is just really creating some confidence where he's ready to kind of – because to be successful in punt return – traditionally, you need to make one guy miss, and you need to get vertical. And the more he's back there, I think the more confident he's going to be in doing that. And, I think he's a really talented player. I watch him on the offensive side of the ball. I see him with the ball in his hand, and I think, he's going to be a guy that's going to be really helpful for us at that position, but he needs the reps. And, just for one reason or another, he just hasn't had a bunch of punt return reps to this point this season.
All right, we'll go back to Ira.
Sometimes when you're playing quarterbacks or an offense where they're not going to hold on to the ball, it can get frustrating for pass rushers. How did they handle that? How did you feel like your guys played in that game?
I mean, in terms of how we play the run, I thought it was the best game that we've played from a defensive end standpoint. I thought responsibilities, physicality, like our guys, you know, from a DN standpoint, did a really, really good job, really from the front four. You know, when you play a RPO-heavy team, sometimes the first and second down pass rush is going to be a little bit limited, just because all the action looks like run game. I mean, that's just what it is. On third down, the ball was coming out relatively quick. I thought our guys really played pretty well up front. You know, it's not going to statistically reflect that like in the sack department, but in terms of their role and responsibility in stopping the run, I thought they did a really good job.
All right, we'll go to Aslan in the back right.
You know, it seemed like earlier in the season, Pat had been getting like really good takeoff on a lot of plays. Was it similar to what he was doing in Duke? It could have been something maybe that the staff had told the refs, like, hey, keep an eye on 11. He's been doing this all season, and he's been getting away with it. I mean, what was your kind of interpretation of how Pat's been getting off the ball and what they called Saturday?
Oh, in terms of the offsides?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of situations where guys, we try to crowd the ball. I mean, that's just the reality of what we do. And, you know, I've been here for 56 games, I think, and the amount of times we've been called for aligning in the neutral zone, I think that was the first time that happened. So, like, I don't know. I mean, we backed them up. I'm sure it might have been a point of emphasis or something that maybe they had brought up, but it wasn't something that going into it we thought, you know, that was an issue or anything else. And you know, we have some veteran guys that have played a lot of snaps, and that was the first time I ever remember those things showing up. So, you know, if you want to throw flags, you can involve yourself in the game. That's just how it goes.
All right, we'll go back to Ira.
I want to follow up on that and then ask the question I was going to ask. On the TV angle, it's hard to tell from the angles. Like, it looked like in some of those cases, like, it wasn't like they were lined up at the ball or past the ball, maybe leaning over. Is that, I mean, do you understand the interpretation?
I mean, listen, bro. I don't make enough money to get fined by anybody. So, like,
we'll talk.
I don't know what. Like, those are. You know, ask Coach Norvell or somebody else who might want that fine. I don't want that. So, yeah, no. I mean, I don't know.
I'll ask my other question. You know, so many of the plays Miami makes, I mean, obviously they make a ton of plays out of their base offense, but the way Cam Ward can extend plays and just put pressure on defenses, do you have to change anything you guys do or do the same things you would do in any other game?
I mean, obviously we have a lot of respect for Cam and what they've been able to do offensively. I mean, they've been super productive and as a unit. We got to do a great job of stopping the run. You know, that it starts with that. And then we got to be able to be really disciplined in how we rush the passer. And, you know, when you do see teams that have had some success rushing the passer. And, you know, I feel like if we can put them into those must-throw situations and create some one-dimensional aspect of their game, we're going to be able to get after the passer pretty well. But that's going to be on us to stop the run. And, you know, that's really the case every week in terms of how we need to play defense.
Anything else?
The depth in terms of a game like this where there could be a lot of opportunities to, you know, be rushing the passer, is the depth, how important is the depth, and how do you feel about some of the other guys kind of getting involved beyond the front line guys?
I mean, I think right now we kind of have that rotation up front where we feel pretty good about, you know, the four-man rotation at defensive end between Pat, Marvin, Newsy, and Byron. I do think Aaron Hester can help us. You know, it's hard to get into a five-man rotation. That's just the reality. He's practicing well. But it's hard, especially in a game like we played the other night where we were off the field so quickly. I think we had 8 3-and-outs, and when drives aren't extended, it's hard to want to roll guys very much. You know, when you get extended drives or you have any injuries, then you get into your depth a little bit. And the same's true at tackle. I mean, I think we played 60 true plays in the game, and if that's the case, you're just not going to get into your depth as much. But obviously, you got to continue to prepare because you never know when you need to get into your depth.
Last one, Aslan.
As a coach, like what's your, I guess your mindset when you're going up against a team that the week prior allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown, allowed a punt, a fake punt? Like, is it, oh, they're ripe for the taking, or it's like, darn it, they're probably going to be much more buttoned up this week?
Both. I mean, like I was a little bit disappointed that they had given up a fake watching the game, just because obviously there's going to be heightened awareness on their part. The same is true on the kickoff return, but we're going to do what we do. I believe really strong in how we approach things. I think we're going to scheme up from a kick return standpoint the best opportunities we have to go make a play. Same is true in the punt game or anything else. But yeah, I mean, you don't want somebody to kind of steal your thunder, I guess, the week before you play them. But that's just part of the game.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for your team, Coach.